And welcome from the great state of Texas. You are here with the Skip the Noise podcast. Tonight you'll be joined by the illustrious Brown Python and myself, Mexican Nostradamus. We are missing our wonderful friend, producer, aka all-around guru,
and
Benjamin
heterosexual
James.
life partner.
And heterosexual life partner, Benjamin James. He will not be joining us tonight, but you will get the two diametric opposed opinions on tonight's show, which we will be visiting a little bit about how Trump will be taking in the ass from federal prison after his raids, Beto and his current point spread. We will kind of revisit a little bit of Alex Jones, and we're going to talk about all you FOMO motherfuckers who boo everything to buy your house. And the sad thing is we're going into a housing recession, which if you listen to the show, you would have known I said about 20 times. So without further ado, welcome to Skip the Noise.
Hey,
how the fuck are y'all doing tonight?
Yeah. Hey, so for people at home who are wondering why we're not putting out shows every week, what the hell is going on? I mean, did me and Ben get into some sort of argument where we're not talking anymore? Or did Benji just get up and quit and said, fuck y'all? He's done it almost several times after the show, so.
I think like 15 times because we say so many stupid things. Oh my God, what can you believe half the dumb shit we say? It's
he's had to censor us so many times.
Oh my God. I think we've lost whole episodes. We've lost whole days of episodes to censoring. It's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, but we can't anyway. So no, the reason we're not filming as much or recording as much is because
what are you
we're filming ourselves, but we're anyway, it's probably because, the pandemic's pretty much over. And this show started off as a pandemic show, meaning we couldn't do anything for half the year, basically. But now that the pandemic's over, everything's kind of going back to normal. We don't have a lot of time to do this show like we did before. I mean, even when we do have time, we're super exhausted, one of us. So that's been going on a lot. And
and also it's just when it comes down to it, everyone has we have families, we have things, but we are committed to try to bring as many of these to y'all, and it should stay on a weekly cadence. There may be some weeks where it kind of goes in and out, but I think we're going to kind of just try to do the best we can. to handle the load and the not the burden, but rather the job at hand, which is to try to give you guys the most a good perspective on what's going on in the media right now, and also what's going on in politics in the world. So you'll still keep hearing from us, and we will keep rolling. And we may kind of move around some parts of the show and kind of see what fits a little bit better. But yeah, that's why you've noticed maybe a couple of absences and whatnot. But we are here tonight, and guess what? We're ready to fucking rock it out. Because guess what? Guess what? Trumpy Trump, he's going to jail.
He's not going to jail.
He's going to jail.
No,
bro.
He's not. This is political, right?
Jail.
This is political. It's written all over it. Look, if it was any other person, I would say yes. But the fact that they try to get this man with the Russian collusion, they try to get him on a Ukraine call, they try to, I mean, the fact that they're not prosecuting Hunter or Hillary, or they've never done this to any other president in American history. They impeached him twice. None of this shit has worked, man. And now you're telling me that the same FBI that doesn't give a shit about the U.S. gymnastics team, the same FBI that, talked about the insurance policy in case Trump got elected. The same FBI that plants people at these stupid Trump rallies in hopes of getting riots going. They arrest each other.
God,
they're the ones pursuing Trump now. Come on, dude. It's political. It's political.
Well,
this is the same FBI from J. Edgar Hoover. Okay, come on. It's the same shit. Nothing's changed.
All right. Well, you know what? You know what? That is a fair assessment. That is a fair assessment. Except, and I'm about to say, I really think at this juncture, right? Trump fucked up.
How so?
I think he fucked up pretty bad. Well, so if you go through the catalog of the documents that he kept,
Yep.
there's some serious shit, man. There's a possibility that he kept documents regarding nuclear warfare.
That has not been proven. That's
And no, but that's no. There's a lot of people saying this now. And so the problem is I think what Trump did, and depending on the school of thought that you're going to come with, you're either thinking that he maliciously kept this information to, possibly make billions of dollars, because that's what this information is worth, particularly the nuclear secrets, or he was just an asshole who, rushed out of that White House because he didn't do the necessary preparations because he was being a jerk off about the election and trying to stay in office. One of those, or maybe even a mixture of them, has occurred. The documents that he's being accused of having are pretty substantial. And while, yes, the FBI is not foolproof, right? No government agency is. And I'm definitely not going to go on. These guys are the ones that, have taken part of several questionable things, in particular the Governor Whitner thing in Michigan,
that's right,
the kidnapping.
The fact that they held secret about the 19 pilots in Phoenix who wanted to fly sideways. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
no. There's that, and also there's even the young man in the DFW area. There's a young man. He's a Muslim kid, and they basically, I think he was kind of special needs, and they framed him a possible, not framed him, but basically, ran an operation where they said, hey, they I guess radicalized them in a sense. There's questionable parts about the FBI. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're going to raid the former president of the United States home, you've dotted some I's and crossed some T's. This wasn't just a haphazard. This isn't just a stupid congressional hearing where it's like, oh, you did this and oh, you did that, and grandstanding. Dude, they fucking raided his home.
Yeah.
And the preclusion to that, he's also started pleading the Fifth Amendment in his other case.
I could see that happen, but I'll tell you why.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
So with all of this going on, I'm pretty sure Trump has done some things. I'm not saying, and please, I'm not saying other political people haven't, but this dude said some shit that was maybe a little bit too far.
No, I mean, look, you're probably thinking this is unprecedented, right? This is raiding the president's home is a big deal. You're right, but we've seen how easy it is for the FBI to get a search warrant on false premises. I mean, look at the Russian collusion case. They bugged his campaign based on a fake dossier. Fake. They didn't even bother to check whether it was real or not. Okay. That's fake evidence that they submitted to a judge to get permission to spy on his campaign.
Well, to retort to that, and as much as people want to act like we live in this super free society, every single presidential campaign has bugged their. I mean, Nixon was the worst because he actually broke into the DNC. But over time, most political candidates are monitored. So I wouldn't say that was a brand new experience.
But then Nixon didn't use the FBI to break into the hotel.
No, but he used them for a lot of other stuff, in particular suppression and political thought suppression, especially amongst the Black Panthers and, a bunch of bullshit like that. He wasn't the nicest person either, bro. I mean, I don't think anybody really came into that like that.
You know what? My foot's falling asleep.
That happens to me occasionally.
Anyway, so I know, but dude, to use the FBI, which is an institution that's meant to be apolitical,
sure,
on a presidential candidate and a campaign, and now to use it against the same president, the person who became president, I mean, it's a little suspect, dude. It's a little suspect.
What I'm not
Come on.
disagreeing with that. I am not disagreeing with that. But what I am saying is, yes, it's very suspect. But what, you got to take the Occam's razor too. Is what happens if he really fucked up? I mean, the FBI on multiple occasions asked him to bring documents back. The Library of Congress, or I could be wrong, but one of the the ones that holds on to these documents said, "Hey, we need these back." He was asked several times, and his lawyer in June even made a sworn statement that all redacted material has been returned.
Okay,
these are all that's not true. So it could be no. There was stuff they took that was redacted. Thing that had the confidential markings on it, or that could be another case of malpractice, but something went down here. I don't think this is just political smoke and mirrors, because this is political suicide. This is tantamount to secret police type shit.
So, my initial assessment of this when I first saw it, and I saw who the judge was and his history, I thought this dude took the Epstein client list. That's the only reason the FBI would raid a presidential.
But what happens if he did? What happens if he did? He did something, right? He did something. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm telling you. Let's go down that avenue. He did something major here. I don't think this is just political. Whether it was a moral, immoral, amoral, whatever the fuck he did, he stole something he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. There's so many things pointing to that fact that this is political. So many things. For example, he hasn't been in the office for 2 years. You're telling me they waited 2 years to raid his home in an election year?
Well, they had been badgering him. They had been badgering him for 2 years? Whole time. Yes.
No, dude.
There's a chain. There is a 3 chain. Months
for the government to go into your facility and take action. Trust me, I know.
Well, no, you're right. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. They wouldn't have done it unless they really had to. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They gave him a long time to do this. They gave him
man.
I'm telling you, bro, they've been talking to this dude since, I think most of the postmarks are talking about like March, after he was out of office. They were asking for these documents. They were asking for certain things. And whether he was being a prick or not, that's not my call. That's not my understanding. I don't know. I don't care. But he didn't do it.
All right. So I see what you mean. But let's just that is going to come out over time, right? With evidence and emails between. I mean, it's going to come out. If there's ever a court trial or something like that, it's going to come out. Hey, we sent out these emails. We responded in kind. This is your suggestion. That's going to come out. But let's just say, for the sake of conversation, that he did steal something, right, i.e. the Epstein client list or nuclear codes. Do you think it merited, them raiding that, though? I mean,
did what?
Do you think it was? I mean, it was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What happens? Okay, what happens? You got to take the Occam's razors. What happens if it is? Because I hate to say this, your boy has changed his story now 3 times.
Oh yeah. How
first, the initial thing was, "Oh, this is bullshit." Then the second thing was like, well, as soon as I say something's unclassified, it's unclassified. Now it's, well, the FBI planted evidence. Now it's, well, it's you should see my lawyers. We followed the right paperwork. He's changed his story regarding these documents several times. Yeah, that's the only problem.
But the problem also is that when they do raids like this, it's very specific. There's a specific area that they're looking for. There's a specific document they're looking for. I mean, these dudes, they weren't specific at all. It was very broad in nature. They went all over Mar-a-Lago.
No, bro. No, they had if you look at the leaked search warrant that Trump himself leaked, it was pretty specific. They were looking for certain documents that were never ascertained the way that they legally should have been turned over by the Trump team.
It comes out, though. Let's just say, if it comes out that he did declassify these documents appropriately, and there was email exchanges between lawyers about these documents, and there's nothing, Burger. What do you think happens now?
Oh, no. So let's say this is a situation where Yeah, no, let's say there's in some way a political tie, right? No. I mean, this definitely needs to be handled, right? You don't need government, you don't need like a secret police, right? A secret police going after political targets. That's just not that's the end of democracy. But I'm telling you, the FBI is not stupid for the most part. Especially, look, you go after these small guys, you may do what's it called whenever you make someone do a crime, you entrap them. You may entrap some people, some nobodies, but you're going after the former president of the United States. You fucking for sure better have something. And I think they had something, man. I think they have something. And I think Trump, it could be in some problems. Will he ever go to prison? I highly doubt it. But he might be indicted, man. Like for real, like a criminal indictment. No bullshit like, oh, I need you to come testify in front of Congress. No, this is, dude, there's grand juries looking into his shit for both his dealings in real estate in New York and what's happening there. Dude keeps flipping his stories, bro. And the worst part is, he signed that bill.
Which one?
Okay, so there's a bill that talks about basically retaining or holding information from the government. And he made the penalty worse because he was going after Clinton and her emails. He just broke his own law that he signed.
We don't know that yet.
Oh, he did, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now. I will say it. He fucking had something. He had something that, okay, he had something. I'm not saying that he wasn't supposed to have necessarily, but that he was supposed to have given back.
Okay, let's just say that it is a records thing, okay? And the Justice Department said that it has something to do with the Espionage Act. Do you understand how hard it is to prove this Espionage Act?
No, it's very easy.
No, it's really hard. You're going to have to prove, one, that, first off, you took the records and that your intent was to distribute it to a foreign power.
Nope, they do not. Actually, if you look at the way that Trump strengthened the Espionage Act, that is not what you have to do anymore. See, so right. I thought the same thing too. You do not have to show intent. You just have to show that the information was taken by you. So Trump strengthened basically, you know how you say that, what's that saying, you give somebody enough rope to hang themselves.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He strengthened the own rule that could potentially fuck him.
But I really don't think he's that stupid. I'll tell you why. Because once you get hit by the government, i.e. a Russian investigation or whatever, you do everything by the T after that. You cross every T and you dot every I thereafter, so that when this shit happens again, and it will, you have the paperwork and the receipts to prove your innocence.
Right. And you could, right? Right. And that's what are you like the Teflon Don, right? Who's like, basically, I mean, John Gotti, right? He didn't stop committing crimes. He never stopped committing crimes. I just think maybe Trump thought he was literally untouchable.
Maybe, I mean, maybe, I don't know the man. Probably.
And so I heard some more, a couple of different things regarding the whole thing. And in particular, a lot of people have been bringing up foreign powers. Some people brought up the Saudis, who are very intent and will do anything to have their own nuclear program. And also Russia. And I think there's been a lot of talk, especially with the how cozy the Saudis and Trump are in particular. Like, they booked up his hotels. Jared Kushner, a lot of these people have gotten positions very quickly with them.
Oh, yeah. Jared Kushner made out big. He made billions with the Saudis.
Well, now, I mean, what happens if he kind of gave him the nuclear playbook? Maybe not necessarily. I mean, you got to remember. So, I mean, I think at this point, everyone knows. Everyone has the assets to probably make nuclear materials, right?
Yeah.
But what everyone's missing is we have a pretty, us, the Russians and and the Chinese, we kind of all really hold on to the materials required for the when you make the the weapons grade plutonium, things like that. The refinement process. We kind of have we know that it takes specific things, and we have that locked down. Maybe dude, maybe that's what he did. I don't know. I do know though that this is a very, very interesting situation. I don't think they would have just did it for no reason.
I think they would have.
I
mean, they did a lot of things to that man for no reason. The Russian collusion thing,
dude. Right, but that's I think I feel you, right, and I respect what you're saying, because what you're saying, right, that you're right, Yeah. But what I don't think is that's like one of those show trials, right? That's one of those like, oh, here we are.
No, man.
Bad. No, but
the FBI submitted a request for a FISA warrant on faulty information.
But even Comey, whenever they interviewed him, he was like, I mean, even he said that the collusion wasn't really there. He did, of course, say that there was, but the concept of collusion, though, right, was something different, much different. There was a difference between collusion and a bunch of other terms that everyone tried to slide it out. And Trump's legal team was very good at what they did. Yeah. I don't, but that's different than what we're doing here, man. You got fucking FBI agents going into your house. Come on.
Yeah.
Dude, they fucked up. They fucked up. I'm sorry. He fucked up, bro. They don't
want Trump to run anymore. They just don't. And they're going to do whatever they can.
I don't think they care. The FBI is so powerful. I don't think they care who's in power. And that's why you saw the Democrats freaking the fuck out when it happened. Schumer, because Schumer was giving a speech about something. About the Inflation Act. He literally was rejecting questions. So was McConnell. Nobody knew this was going to happen. Except for of course, Garner maybe. But Garner never told anybody. Like, all the Democratic congressmen, people were like, fuck, what? We raided that means that they can raid my house.
Yeah, like, I mean, the FBI raided Henry Cuellar's house in Laredo, Texas.
Right, that's what I'm telling you, bro. They're like, wait. They're raiding houses? The president of the United States house? Dude, no Democrat is really all in behind this proposition. So I'm trying to tell you, it's not as political as you would think. I really think that this was, dude, they have something.
We'll see. But if they don't,
if they don't, man, we could see the dismantling of the FBI as we know it.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
It's probably gotten too big at that point, and then they're gonna probably break it up into certain parts.
Yeah, I think, there's gonna have to be a reassessment of that type of level of law enforcement, especially a national law enforcement branch. If there's political motivation behind their things, that's extremely scary.
It's already been found to have political motivations. Look at Peter Strzok and Lisa Page.
Yes and no. I would say, well, no, but personal conversations are personal conversations. You can't tell me that a majority of FBI agents aren't Trump supporters. So you can't you can't tell me, dude. I've met in my lifetime a couple of FBI and CIA agents, and these guys were not pro-Biden type people. These were all conservatives. So while I see what you're saying, I don't think it's, from my own anecdotal evidence, I've never really met very many of them that were liberals. They're patriots in a sense.
Do you know what other government agency is about to become the largest government agency in the country?
Fucking IRS.
The fucking IRS, man.
87,000 new agents. But before everyone blows their load and freaks out, there is actually, of the 100,000 IRS agents, I think they said there's 100,000 over the next 10 years. There's literally been filing for about half of them to retire. So the IRS is actually getting older. Basically.
But they're gonna have to replace those positions plus 87,000 more people.
Well, no. So the 87,000 encompasses the 50,000 that are going away, and they're adding 37,000 more positions. That's what they say. That's the official narrative.
Do we need a law for that, though? Did we need a law for 37,000 new positions?
Oh, hold on.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, and ladies and gentlemen, as much of a liberal as I am, I don't really believe in the IRS.
No, they're
at all.
pricks.
I believe in, well, it's not that, just that. I don't think, I think that the tax system in this country is a fucking game. It's like, we know how much you owe every year. We're not going to tell you, and you have to make a guess. I mean, that's stupid, right?
That's government though.
But it's dumb. It's like, oh, we know how much you owe us. We're not really going to tell you. And if you pay too much or too little, we'll give you a refund. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I'm more of a proponent. And while it can be, I think there could be a scale that could be easily implemented based on income, but I'm more of a proponent on a flat tax, a 35% flat tax on all purchases. No, that's it. 35% tax. And then, of course, if you make under a certain amount, maybe it's closer to 20, but that's it. The sales tax is collected from when you purchase. That's it. Game over.
Yeah.
No more. You don't have to file anything. You get your whole check. And then when you buy things, and you know what? I guarantee you, if you knew that every time you spend something, that money was going to the government, that would really, we would have more savings than any country in the world, right?
Yeah, but the government doesn't want you to save.
Nope.
If you look at the tax system, the tax code, it prevents you from saving.
Yep. And
they don't want you to save.
Yeah. Well, but and so also it gives a little bit further light into this into the inflammation. No, it's probably going to inflame shit. What's it called? The Inflation Reduction Act. They are also saying that these particular new people will not be going after anyone who makes less than $400,000, which of course has already been shown that that's not correct. And then of course you have Kristen Sinema, who basically sold her soul to the I think the financial lobbying groups. So they will not. There are some provisions that were knocked out in order to get her on board. So in the end, this also, I think this has the chip stuff in there. It has a bunch of things. But yeah, going back to the IRS point, I just don't. Dude, they're going to come after poor people. They've been doing the last decade. Do you know that, right? The initiative for the IRS was to go after regular people.
Yeah.
They weren't going after rich people, folks. They weren't. They
because there's more poor people than rich people, so there's more money there.
Well, it's easier too. It's easier.
The problem with the IRS, though, here's the deal with them. Okay, poor people or regular people like me and you and Benji, we don't have money to fight the IRS, so we'll just pay it.
Right.
Rich people who have a lot of resources do have the money because they have a business. They can hire lawyers under their business name. And that's a tax write-off by itself. So it's self-perpetual. I'm going to hire a lawyer. That's my tax write-off. And I'm going to fight off this tax bill. Perfect. I'm done. So they're not going to go after business owners and millionaires and billionaires because they have the money to fight the IRS. Plebs, no, they don't. So they're going to give you the tax bill. And then they're going to tell you, we're going to charge you interest for every day you don't pay this until you pay it. It's kind of like a payday loan.
Right.
The IRS are the loan sharks. And so you have daily compounded interest on unpaid bills to the IRS to the point where a $40,000 bill, let's just say, comes out to be maybe $60,000 if you don't pay it in the year. Now you're in a hole and you're not going to get out of that hole. And you're most likely not going to get out of that hole for a very long time. So anyway, that's my spiel.
Yeah,
I hate the IRS. I hate government agencies. They're terrible. They're corrupt.
I wouldn't say I hate them. I just think it's time to simplify. I think it's just time to simplify life for people, right? It's kind of horseshit that we have to do these stupid games. If you know how much you're going to take, if you know how much you need to take out of my taxes, just fucking take them out. And if you screw up, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I think we play these stupid games where it's like an example is, with the English soccer, with European soccer, for many years, they fought the concept of instant replay.
Oh, okay.
They literally did. They did not want to
I
do
remember
instant
that.
replay, right?
I
For
remember
many
that.
years. And the reason why, and a couple people said, it's like, well, it's it's for the
It's
excitement of it.
tradition.
It's
It's
no, it's for
tradition.
the no. They literally said, "Well, what happens if you get it wrong?" Well, it's kind of the excitement. It's the, the
It's
jolt
the
of
way
it
you play the
all,
game.
right? It's the way you play the
It's
game.
the cost of doing business. Yeah.
But we should not be doing that with our finances. We should not be doing that with how we fund this country. We should not be doing that with any of this. And so, to me, I just think it's you can try to, people can try to paint this any other way. But guess what, folks? IRS there's only so many rich people the IRS can go after, and now you have 37,000 new ones. What do you think they're going to go? Who do you think they're going to go after they get done with all the rich people that all successfully defended themselves because they have plenty of money and accountants to protect them? Who do you think they're going after next?
My employees.
Everybody. After you, the rich people. But no, seriously, they're going to go after us. They're going to go after everybody. Because guess what, folks? When you're rich, you have the money to fight them. And they don't want that. It's still about, they're still going to have to meet quotas and demands, and it's easier to go and get a bunch of poor people than it is a rich person. So I just see it's all a waste. Once again, we're inflating another government agency that really doesn't need to be there.
Here's my soapbox on this thing. That's why, and I know you're gonna roll your eyes on this, but that's why the Trump administration and the Republicans have an appeal, because yes, they didn't give a fuck about you. Yes, they're corrupt as fuck, but they left you alone. They didn't hire 87,000 new agents.
But did they
yes,
really
they did.
though?
Yes, they did. No. I'll tell you why. They brought down gas prices. Inflation was low. Okay, we had a great economy. They let me work, and then they let me make money off my 401k. They left me alone. Okay, you vote the Democrats in, and what do? They want to pass these environmental protection acts or whatever. They want to they want to increase the gas prices because it benefits them. They want to invite 37,000 new IRS agents to come and harass you. They don't leave you alone. They don't. Okay. Right. And that's the problem with the Democrats. They do not leave you alone.
Well, and you know what? I could honestly say the same thing in regards to the Republicans, because, because this is the party of freedom, but they're trying to take away women's rights to choose. This is the party of being an independent, letting people be who they want to be, except they're trying to get rid of gay marriage. They're trying to, they're trying to butt into what people want. They're trying to stifle and merge the lines between church and state. Dude, I think, to be quite honest with you, if you took the essential meaning of a Republican, a conservative, right, and you actually had that person, they would win, hands down. But the problem is the Republicans aren't like that. They're into a world that is based on this moral conservatism that is also, basically hijacked the party. I mean, dude, I'll tell you right now, if the GOP were to go more libertarian and say, hey, look, guys, we're not going to put abortion. We're not going to put, we're not going to put
social
stuff
issues
about Jesus, things about gay marriage. That's not what we care about anymore. All we care about is reducing the government and giving you more freedom. Bro, blow them out. Game over. There wouldn't be another Democrat ever again. But the problem is they're not doing that. The problem is that they're becoming, and I'm not trying to throw the term
the party
around.
Jesus.
Well, they're kind of going a little, and I really wish there was a way to explain a xenophobic type fascism without saying those words. I think they're pushing a narrative of a failing country, of everything was better back in the days. I think South Park put it the best. It's the member berries, right? Remember this, remember that, remember when America was good, remember that. And it unfortunately brings about this weird xenophobic cultural conservatism that is, I think that's the downfall of it. If they just stuck to taxes and reducing government, I don't see how they ever lose ever again.
Yeah.
But that's what real conservatives were, right? But no, now we have this moral conservatism that's co-opted that party.
I want to say that was brought about by liberals, though. The culture
was
wars.
It really? I mean,
I think it was. Yes,
you can't blame liberals on what on you. This isn't really a chicken and the egg thing, bro.
It is a chicken and the egg. It is.
It is not.
The liberals and the culture war have brought about this segment of the Republican Party that you would call the Jesus Party, because the pendulum always swings the other way. Okay, you go too far to the left, you're gonna get too far to the right, and it goes right back to the other way. So someone's got to tone it down, unless the people rise up and we're like, no, stop with this shit. Stop trying to indoctrinate my kids and give them puberty blockers, and just fucking teach my fucking kids math and science and reading.
Right. But see, that's the calling card of the current conservative party is everyone says wild ass shit when 95% of anyone doesn't believe in that shit.
Have you seen libs of TikTok?
Huh?
Have you ever seen libs of TikTok? Yeah,
but then of course, then I could show you, fascists of TikTok. I mean,
Does that exist?
Trust me, there is. There's a yin and yang, right? There's extremes on each side. All I'm saying is conservatives aren't really conservative anymore, because being conservative, the ideal characteristic was that they let people live their life because freedom was tantamount. Salman Rushdie, the author of the Satanic Verses, who just got stabbed. Well, he just got stabbed.
Satanic Verses.
Yeah, he wrote it.
Holy shit!
So, well, no, it was a fictional narrative that kind of put parts of Islam under negative lights and scrutiny. So they issued a fatwa against him, I believe, in the 70s. So they've been, Iran, they've been coming after him for a while. So he got stabbed, but nonetheless, he gave a speech where he was talking about freedom, and he said, when someone says something, well, I agree, I like freedom of speech, but then it's no longer free.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is that both sides don't really believe in freedom of speech, right? If somebody says they don't want prayer or something in school or something like that, they don't believe in it. That's not okay. But the same thing if someone says, everyone's born the way they are, etc., they don't want them to say that either. We don't really have a freedom of speech problem. What we have is a problem with people not letting anyone else say anything other than their own points. So there really isn't a freedom of speech here. If you say something on one side or the other, everyone gets fucked, Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of where we're headed. With that. But speaking along those lines,
what's happening here in Texas?
Well, we got Mr. Beto O'Rourke, aka the Irish Mexican.
The fake Mexican.
The fake Mexican. He is so they just did another poll, brand new one, and he is currently lagging now 7 points behind Greg Abbott. So
well,
he had a little surge. He did have a little surge, and I still think this will be a little closer than we thought. I'm really thinking that it's going to be maybe a 2 to 3 point win for Abbott. But
okay,
that should be a big thing for Abbott to be terrified against, because guess what? I mean, Beto O'Rourke was kind of a celery stalk, right? I mean, it's like running against like a tuber. It's just not there's just nothing amazing.
It's like running against one of those tubing things in front of cell phone stores that go up and down with the air.
Yes, like
Yeah,
the
that's
the
exactly
wacky
what
flailing arm
yeah.
guy. And guess what? He's still only going to lose by 2 to 3 points, I think. In the end, I think he's only going to lose by 2 to 3 points. I think at some point in the night, he may actually be ahead for a little bit. Whenever, of course, they count the big major population centers. But yeah, bro, there's some serious shit going on here. So,
He's been getting kind of testy in
risky.
his campaigns there.
Not funny to me, motherfucker. That for what we're talking about is he actually said he called someone a motherfucker whenever he was describing an AR-15 and
which he was wrong, by the way.
Use.
He was extremely wrong, and that's why they laughed.
Well, there's an M16, right? There's the M16, there's the AR. AR is more of the civilian built rifle. The M16 was built for, it's a common misnomer.
He kept saying the AR-15 was meant for war. Who do you don't go to war with the 22? Okay?
No. AR-15 is not a 22. AR-15 is a 223, which is a NATO sanctioned round, 5.56. Also, these are high velocity rounds. They will clear body armor for the most part. So it is a hitter. It is meant to kill human beings because 223 is, you wouldn't really deer hunt 223, right? You use a 30-06, you use a 300 Win mag, a 308 maybe off a high velocity. I mean, well, you could use a 308, but it'd be a waste of that round. But anyway, it's not really a great hunting round. But 30-06 is the best way to go.
Yeah, this is the best way to go.
But dude, a 223.
I have a pump action 30-06 with a scope.
Oh, that's nice.
I fucking feel like Lee Harvey Oswald when I use that thing. It's crazy.
Oh boy, I don't know if that's a good way to feel. Oh boy, my little Hitler in art school. Oh boy, it threw me off. Fucking God damn. I feel like Lee Harvey Oswald. This fucking guy. Oh my God. Anyways,
shooting deer down Dealey Plaza.
Just looking at it like, come here. Walk, deer. Walk in a procession. You only kill deers in a procession. You sick bastard. But nonetheless, 223 is a people killer, man. I mean, you're not really gonna go after deers with that. But some of what he said was right. Some of what he says, of course, is propaganda. But in the end, he did call the guy, it's not funny to me, motherfucker, and talk shit. It is interesting to see life out of a drab, distraught human being who culturally, takes over someone's identity. But in the end, it's interesting. It's interesting. He is trying to raise the rhetoric, and I think it's enough to scare Abbott, as he has now only agreed. So typically we have 3 debates for governor races.
Yeah. Have we had any debates? I haven't seen them.
Well, nope. That's because Abbott has agreed to only one. He'll only debate him one time. I think he's going to debate him. I think it's actually going to occur in South Texas. The debate will go down there. So you will have a Greg Abbott / Beto.
He's not going to be Laredo. I'm sure of it. It's probably going to be like McAllen or.
I think it's McAllen. Or it might even be where A&I is. Or not A&I, but A&M Kingsville. It might be A&M Kingsville. I think it's happening down there. So, because, usually they do it on campuses. So that they will have that one thing. It's still interesting, though. I still think there's a lot of political, a lot of jostling going along, a lot of money. Beto's, I think, up to 30 million raised. Abbott has 1 trillion. It's an interesting thing, but it's crazy because Abbott has actually started mentioning Biden more. So it's he doesn't really want to test Beto. It's kind of funny how a pretty lackluster opponent is causing Abbott to kind of go into full defensive mode. So it's interesting. It's very interesting.
One thing Beto has is experience.
Losing. He has experience of losing. That's all he knows how to do.
But he ran against Ted Cruz, which was a very close election. Right?
I mean, was it?
I think he gained notoriety in that point. He gained popularity. That's why we still know him. That's why his signs still look like Whataburger ketchup.
I don't know,
I
bro.
mean,
He's like the Buffalo Bills of fucking political people.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
He keeps making it to the Super Bowl and keeps losing.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I still think he's gonna. I mean, could he? I still think. I mean, could he pull a surprise? I don't know
He
because
could. He absolutely could.
I'm telling you. I think the secretive quiet abortion voters are out there, folks. I really see. I don't think polls are going to work this time either. I think there's a lot of conservatives that just. I hate to say this, think like me. It's just like, why do I even want to deal with this? Just like you do. Why do I even want to deal with this abortion shit? You know what? Democrats are weak enough. Let me just vote a couple of them. Let me vote a couple of them in so that they can codify abortion and gay marriage, etc. And then we'll get back to business. Because I don't think anyone really wants to go as backwards as the Republican Party is pushing.
Probably.
Yeah, that's the spooky point. I think the Republicans, and you see a lot of the Senate candidates.
I think they should put up for a vote, though.
Huh?
They should put it up for a vote.
Oh, I think we should go direct.
Did.
I think we should do direct. I really believe in this. Is my opinion. I think we should do direct democracy for the United States with that. Just vote. Yeah. Just vote. Just put it. Just like, you know what? We're voting for president. We are also going to vote whether or not abortion should be legal in the United States.
There you go. There you go.
That's it. We're also going to vote on, whether or not the IRS needs to be around. We need to just, I think direct democracy, we're at the point now to where direct democracy is actually probably a better concept than what we're doing currently.
Well, but you get into the issue with states' rights and all that.
Well, no, I mean,
I think Texas should put it to a direct vote, though.
Well, I think every state should, and you're going to see a lot of states.
And you know what? Give an expiration date, 20 years, one generation, and then the next generation can vote for it again, or vote against it. No,
because you don't. I like the concept that some laws should be permanent. Like slavery, right? The end of that needs to be permanent. We should never, even if we get to some sick point in the future where we want to do that again, I don't think that's a good ride. I think
worry about it. You have low unemployment.
I'm kidding. But you know what I'm saying, though? I mean, there's some things that need to stand on its own, that need to be a pillar of equality in this country, because essentially that's what we are. We're supposed to be a country where everyone has the opportunity to earn a living, to have the American dream. And I just think that I think direct democracy really needs to be where it needs to be. We need to stop playing these bullshit and letting these people, and just put it on ballots. Stop this. Let people vote, because a lot of people say things in public, but in private, they really mean something and they really think something. So anyways, one person who's not going to be saying a lot lately is we're going to be revisiting this one, is Mr. Alex Jones.
Yeah. And I requested this to be revisited.
You did. He's lost several court cases against him. I believe it's like somewhere around $50 or $60 million total at this point of liabilities. Alex, he's kind of, Alex Jones is kind of done when it comes to this point.
It's all symbolic, no one's gonna see a penny out of that anymore, because he doesn't have the money. But I looked back at the video that you guys were talking about, how his opposing counsel approached him while he was on the bench and said, "Your lawyer accidentally sent me."
Yeah.
Okay. I saw that video, and then I saw the lawyer's reaction, and I saw how Alex Jones was sweating it out, and I finally know what happened. Okay, without getting into too much detail,
right?
This has a lot to do with his deposition, the discovery phase of a lawsuit. So whenever you get sued, you get served with a lawsuit, there's discovery. Okay, and in discovery, they send you these questions pertaining to the case. Okay, now these questions, if you lie, it's perjury. Right. Okay, because they're enforceable in court. So what I think happened was Alex wanted to lie about this, and his lawyer probably advised him against it.
Right.
No, Alex, you better not lie, because I am not going to stand for you. And one thing lawyers hate is to be lied to. or to be bamboozled. Your lawyer, who's defending in court, does not want to be bamboozled. Okay. If he knows that what the truth is and he finds out that you're lying, you are in deeper shit with your own lawyer than with the opposing counsel. Okay.
Right.
So this is probably what happened. He advised him against lying about that question, and he went ahead and lied about it anyway and submitted his discovery deposition. And the lawyer was like, I'm not going to have it. But now the lawyer did a bitch move though. Instead of the lawyer saying, you know what, I refuse to represent you, good luck, he went ahead and sent the entire text message and ratted out his own client, which he shouldn't have done.
No, definitely.
Okay. So that was a bitch move from the lawyer. The lawyer should have just said, look, you're lying and I refuse to represent you. Good day, sir. And that was it. That's all he should have done.
Right.
He shouldn't have sent the text messages to the opposing counsel so he can get, because in that courtroom, you deserve to have legal representation on your behalf. Right. And at that moment, he didn't have it. Alex Jones did not have legal representation on his behalf from either side. He was literally in a room. Now, some people may say, yeah, haha, he deserved it. But that's not the way the justice system works. You should have someone on your side looking after you. And that didn't happen. And the lawyer knows that he cannot be sued for this because there's some sort of statute in there that says that if you can only sue your lawyer if you think that the outcome would have been different. And so by doing that, you would have to admit that you were lying on your discovery deposition. So anyway, I'm just saying.
So you're saying he was kind of doing a legal imperative where he had to kind of tell the truth. He knew he was going to tell the truth, or things were going to go south.
Yeah, the lawyer knew that Alex had lied in his discovery deposition. He had lied about that question.
Right.
It's a very simple yes or no question. He probably put no. Okay. And then the lawyer read this and it's like, fine, I'll submit this, but I'm also going to send him every text message showing him that you're lying. And that was a bitch move. He shouldn't have done that. The lawyer should have just said, I refuse to represent you.
Well,
and walked away.
Well, right. And maybe, but I think maybe he was already in too deep, but nonetheless, Alex Jones is fucked. So poor little liquor out for him, because his career and his show will be gone momentarily. As I think it's in the 50 millions. It's crazy money. So I get you. I think that's actually a great explanation versus what I think me and Ben were saying was that his fucking lawyers were a bunch of wankers.
No, his lawyer saw that he was going to lie. He knew he had lied, and the lawyer didn't want any part of it. But again, the lawyer should have just said, I don't want to represent you anymore, and walked away. That's all he should have done.
Right.
But you got these young people who are like, they're on a mission and they want to save the world and this and that. And they go in and give the opposing counsel all your text messages ratting you out.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. The world's worth saving. But one thing that I think we're gonna, as we start rounding the edge on tonight's show, is, and I think we'll spend a little bit of basically the rest of the evening on this one, is we're going to discuss something that I feel pretty vindicated. Once again, another one of my predictions I've gone through is so it has been announced that we're officially back in a housing recession market. So what does that mean? That means negative perception and reception of homes has gone below a certain mark. And once that has occurred, I believe it's below 50 in the way of this measuring index, that we're now in a housing recession. So ladies and gentlemen, what does that mean? That means that the cost of homes are going to start self-correcting. Now, there's many times, and we're not financial advisors here, but we're many times where we had this discussion regarding the outrageous house increases and the basic FOMO fear, that the FOMO craze rather, that everyone ran with.
What is a FOMO craze?
The fear of missing out on buying a home.
Okay. That's right.
Right. So basically now, all you assholes who bought a house in the last year and a half are going to lose 20 to 25% of the value of your home. And
So
whatever money you put over. So if you paid, 10% over, you lost that and another 20%,
wow,
at least.
damn.
At least in some markets, it'll be closer to 40%. Now, this won't be a catastrophic drop like 2008, but you will see your house's value depreciate over the next year, year and a half to the tune of at least 20%.
Is that because there's a lot of inventory?
Well, it's because it's multiple things right now. What happened was builders basically, well, there's always quite a bit of supply. What builders did, though, was they trickled out houses and controlled the market with the amount of supply coming through, thinking that they kept holding, just like a lot of dumb other people did, was in the belief that the values would continue to soar. Well, the problem is guess what? They did it. Material costs came down. The pandemic was ending. Interest rates, you no longer could loan money for free as you once did. And that basically has now sent the values of homes, I wouldn't say skyrocketing, but they're definitely on a negative trend. It may be a long sustained negative trend, so quite a bit of value will be lost. So now they're all holding all this inventory that they were purposely holding the whole time to drive up demand because there was adequate supply. Now they're basically caught with their hands, holding the bags. So all this inventory will start flooding the market. And home basically availability is going to skyrocket. And that's going to drive down the prices of homes. And with that, the sentiment is most people don't want to pay the prices that homes cost right now. The average home over price of a home right now, I believe, is $415,000. $416. It's a ridiculous number, and people don't want to pay it. So now buyer sentiment is gone. Interest rates have increased, so that's further alienated buyers from the market. And now there's plenty of inventory to go around, aka housing recession. So for all you dumbasses who did buy a house, you're lucky if you see the value you bought the house back in about 10 years, 15, more than likely.
Oh, wow.
Dude, think about it. These are major decisions. When you buy a home, you're kind of saying you're stuck there for a while. Well, now imagine you're not only stuck there, you're stuck there at least 15 fucking years, just so that you don't lose all of the money that you put into that home.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, folks. And then you know what else is happening in California right now? There's house builders that are selling houses as is and non-completed.
Wait a second. What? How does it even work?
Because they're selling houses. So they're like, fuck. They're looking at the concept, let's say, and I'm going to throw out silly numbers. They're looking at houses that were $12 million, right?
All right.
Now they're into them for 9 or 10. They still got $5 million worth of work. They overpaid for all the lumber because lumber, of course, has gone down significantly. So has materials, everything else. So they've overpaid for all this shit. So in order for them to make their money back there, they're going to have to oversell or overpay for the house. So instead of trying to take that liability or loss, they're selling unfinished homes.
Are they going to finish them?
No, that's on the person who buys it.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yes, because they're so fucking upside down on the construction of these homes from this dumb-ass market and just poor financial planning and thinking that, the gravy train was never going to stop, that now they're fucked. Because now if you built the same house, it would be dramatically cheaper to build.
So they're just going to complete the house up to the point where it's valued.
No, dude, there's even
for example,
even with like a fucking set of walls. Yeah.
Like for example, because prices went down, a completed house would cost you, I don't know, let's just say $300,000. But when they started building the house during the pandemic, $300,000 would have gotten you an unfinished home, and that's where they're going to keep it at.
Yep.
Wow.
And so, well, the crazy part is now, how does that work? How does the system work? How do you, and that's happening. That's happening. So developers and people are losing their ass off. And so, and good for them. Fuck them. They drove up the value of homes unfairly and in a way that was monopolistic. So fuck them. I hope they all go broke. And for the poor saps that bought houses like crazy, the dumbasses who were offering 15% over list because they never thought they were going to get a house. All I can say is you've lost that money you put over. That's never going to come back to your home. You may get back to the price that you paid it in 10 or 15 years, but I hope nothing bad financially happens to you because you're so upside down on a home. I mean, I think this is a concept no one understands because, when you buy a car, a lot of times you go upside down, right? Values depreciate stuff unless you buy the car cash, etc. But the depreciation rate on a car typically outpaces that of the normal loan. You're not supposed to do that with your home. Ever.
Yeah. You're supposed to expect some sort of appreciation from your home. If not, just keep it the same price.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this isn't happening. There's people that are 20 to 30% upside down. You have builders that are completely going broke. And we're really into a real housing recession. So, ladies and gentlemen, just see what's happening. Cash is going to be king in this market. So if you got a lot of money squared away, you're probably going to be able to buy a house that just 6 months ago was 25, 30% higher than what you looked at. And if you got cash, you are going to rock that because you're not, substantial. I mean, more than 20% now. I think banks are really going to only give favorable terms for those really putting in like half. Holy shit, dude. You're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to end up doing really well. So I think that's where we're running into. So once again, I hate to say that, dude. I told y'all so, but I fucking did. So good luck out there. Good luck out there.
Nostradamus strikes again, huh?
I struck again. I am like the golf ball whacker guy. Keep knocking them out of the park. And with that, I think we're gonna wind it up tonight. There's not gonna be a party in the back. We're just gonna kind of keep it all on the business end this evening. But if you guys have any suggestions or ideas about what you want from the show, or if you want to have Rick send pics of his junk to you, please email us at the Skip the Noise email that I think Ben, our illustrious heterosexual life mate, will be posting at the end. And just let us know if there's anything you guys do want us to talk about. If there's any questions regarding that, or just please leave a review or share with one of your friends so that we can try to continue to get the message out there. And of course, I think we have a tip jar thing, right? That Ben set up.
I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Yeah, he can talk about it. So please hit that up. And then you guys keep safe out there and keep it real and represent.
Hasta luego.